see the text we got from Jen Straub? Just wishing us luck.
Ann, what's up?
And we're going okay. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, because then I have really awesome slides to set up. And then ask you something you're doing lectures. I'm like, why don't you do this? Because I feel like it's pet talk. What the?
We just need this one upstairs to take attendance, which I'll say in like 2 minutes. Okay. Hey, Chris.
And then I'm going to say, okay, back to the cat.
You know what cornflakes is?
We actually, we had a student come to the door and said she was like $4.50 today. And she's like, the office open? I'm like, shut it up, dude. Oh, there's no open. There's no fitting to the trough. Where are you going? We're going to Cal. Oh, really? Yeah, great school. And she's like, yeah, I'm probably
It actually is a beautiful school.
not
Yeah.
good people.
I don't know what kind of climate and culture they have. I like James a lot.
Oh, the staff is awesome. I was really close to the administration. My team is awesome.
And where'd
It's
Sean?
just-
Sean went to Lake Park?
Yeah, he went to like Pat. One of my other schools. I don't know. 'Cause
Donna.
it's,
She's
yeah,
like, he said we ran pictures. And I'm like, did you hire her? She didn't apply.
no. And they had to hire somebody to stay close to me. One of my favorite classes was the vice principal. He lives up there.
Oh, really? Woodstock or Woodstock North?
Do you know people with that?
I taught a Chris Lake Charles.
Oh, do you know Matt Kagorski? He's newer to the district. He's a vice principal there.
Chris Lake Charles wasn't a district, but they were in the same conference. I knew a lot of the coaches stuff. Welcome, everyone. While we are waiting for another 7 or 8 minutes or so, there's a QR code that we would like to take attendance for just attendance purposes, numbers of people that are here, contact information if we want to reach out to you in a different fashion. So there's a QR code up there. It just asks for your name and an email address and then optional cell phone if you'd like to put that information in before we get started.
We can't lose someone else. Not yet. We're still grieving the loss.
Yes.
Who's coming in later?
There he is. Okay. I guess you can't look.
She's making her own hours. How early are you scheduling? We were good.
Again, why is it?
No, I've been like, I don't schedule my wife. You were good. Very good. Why don't you, more my boss. Okay. I took the other two, went to the pool and stuff, so that was nice. It was just kind of hectic for each day. Texas is awesome. They own a house in the neighborhood.
There were so many.
They were okay, so
Are we going to drink Christmas break?
seriously, it was amazing. You still got 4 minutes? What time you got that? Can I walk back? I got 3 minutes. Welcome everyone. Again, in about 3 minutes we'll get started, but if you have a QR code reader on your phone, scan that QR code and just put your contact information in there just so we have that, so we can communicate other different and additional information if necessary.
And I was like, dang, I'm not gonna have
All right, good evening, everyone. If you just came in, if you have a cell phone and you have a QR code, if you could take a snap of that and just put some basic communication information in there for you. I'm Dan DeBrooker. I'm an assistant principal here. I'll introduce Dr. Eccles in a second, but I'd like to start, because I've done a handful of these over years, there's no handouts. There's a lot of things that have changed over the last year and a half. That's the major understatement, but we have no handouts, and everything is on a particular website that I will show afterwards. We will actually take this live stream. We are live streaming right now. It'll be posted to that website, along with frequently asked questions, all kinds of information. But we hope that this eases the parents' minds. That's the goal a little bit. The night before the first day of school, we've worked with a lot of freshman classes as they come in, and there's a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts that go through their mind. But we can guarantee that we have an awesome staff that is going to take care of your kids starting tomorrow morning for sure. There's not going to be a tardy on the way to class. There's not going to be seniors yelling at freshmen to get out of the way. Like, those things aren't happening. So as long as they know where their room number for their first period classes, they ask any staff member that is out and about in the morning, we'll get them there. And then that staff member will get them to their second period, and it'll be a learning process, and they hope they come home tomorrow and say it was a great day. But I'll get into the website and some more information right towards the end. But without further ado, how about a round of applause for our fearless leader, Dr. Eccles.
Thank you, Mr. DeBrucker. Good evening, everyone. Okay, it's kind of quiet in here. I'm going to let you know something right now. We like a little noise at Metea Valley High School. Good evening. Good to see all of you here tonight. Those of you watching at home and those of you that made it out here, welcome to Metea Valley High School. We're going to take good care of your kids. I want you to turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor, whoever's sitting next to you, and say, don't worry. It's going to be all right. You are part of history here at Metea Valley High School. I was telling some of the parents that just came in earlier, this is the largest freshman class we have ever had at Metea Valley High School, 800. I think that deserves a hand clap. And we are excited. We're ready. We've been planning. The preparation has gone in, and school is going to start tomorrow. How many of you are excited about school starting tomorrow? All right. We are excited. We're ready in anticipation of the doors opening tomorrow and kids coming into our building. We haven't done that in a while. Last year, we started school with a Zoom. This year, we're starting school with kids in the classroom. I think that deserves a hand clap. It says, why is it amazing to be a Mustang? Well, I'll share a couple things with you. This is my 8th year here at Metea Valley High School. It's a super place to be. It's an exciting school. We do a lot of fun things here. We'll be at 3,000 students this year, so that's the largest that we've ever been. We are the 26th ranked high school in Illinois. Just saying. 566th in the nation. I think that deserves a hand clap. And just for perspective, there are over 1,500 high schools in Illinois, and we're 26. I don't even want to think how many are in the nation, but the U.S. News and World Report ranked us 566 in the nation and 26 in Illinois. And our goal is to be number 1, all right? And we'll do that with you. Here's the thing. We're going to have a great school year this year, and I want to give you a couple things to take home to your children to help them have a great start. Number 1 is to be on time to class. Somebody say on time. That is not a school skill. That is a life skill. Those of you that are in the business world, you know what I'm talking about. There's an old saying, if you can't be on time, be early. We tell our kids the same thing. Be on time to class. Nothing tells the teacher that you're ready to learn better than being in that seat before that bell rings. And so we tell all of our students, be on time to class. Number 2, get involved. Somebody say get involved. Get involved. Now that goes for your students and for you parents. First of all, we have over 66 clubs and activities for your students to participate in. There's something for everybody here, whether it's a sport, whether it's a club, whether it's science, whether it's robotics. We have something here for your child to participate in. Here's why we want our kids to get involved. When students get involved, attendance gets better. That means they want to be at school. They come more often. Number 2, when kids get involved in school, their grades get better. We've proved that statistically. Kids that want to be here and that are involved in our programs have higher GPAs than our students that just leave every day when the bus comes at the end of the day. And finally, students that are involved have better classroom behavior. They don't get referrals. They don't get written up. Why? Because they're around other like-minded students that are heading in the right direction. So those things we want to remind you. Number 1, be on time to class. Number 2, get involved. Parents, we want you to get involved. We've got a ton of parent organizations here. We have the Athletic Boosters, we have the PTSA, we have the Music AMP Parent Club, and we want you to get involved because your involvement here makes our school better. Okay, last thing, and please share this with your children at home. Have fun. We have a lot of fun here at Metea Valley High School. We laugh, joke, we work hard, but we also enjoy our jobs here. And so we want them to have fun. This is a fun place. We do a lot of fun things. We do raffles. We do things on the announcements. We want kids to feel good about being at their school. So just remind them, be on time, get involved, and have fun. If they can do those 3 things, they're going to have a super successful year here at Metea Valley High School. Finally, our superintendent said, unity, community, and opportunity. That's what we're about in District 204. Unity, community, and opportunity. Now there's an old saying that says it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a community to support a school. All of us working together, parents, teachers, students, when we have that thing working, there's nothing we can't do. We're excited about this year. I'm excited about you being here. But to give you a little bit more information, I'm going to turn it over to one of our guidance counselors who's a little smarter than I am. So put your hands together for Nina Seppergan.
All right, hi, so I'm Nina Seppergan. I'm a school counselor here at Metea Valley High School. So I am representing our guidance team tonight. So I'm going to go over just some of our programming into a little bit more detail and the services that we have to offer. So first, okay, so I know many of you probably already logged into this. We have Parent View and Student View, our student management system that we run here. So just as a reminder, if we don't know, all the information that can be found is your class schedule for your student can be found in Parent View and Student View. Locker information can be found in Student View for your child. Only freshmen are assigned a locker. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors can request to get a locker. Students have the ability to wear their backpack throughout the day in the building, and a lot of times don't want to use a locker because now we're in the new age where they have a Chromebook and maybe a book in their backpack, not when we were back in school and had 10 textbooks in our backpack. So it's a lot easier for them to get through the building, and they're not going to have back problems like we do. So bus information, as long as you're 1.2 miles away, you're automatically signed up for the bus system. You'll find in Parent View the bus information on there. It'll be the intersection that your child will be picked up at and the time that they'll be picked up at. For any of our new students, right now it's a little backlogged. Getting that information out there and getting students set up. So for our newer students, just make sure you check it to make sure that that is set up before you send your child there, or else for the first couple days we're asking that parents bring their students to school. Most important information I know for all the parents is the grades and report cards. So all that information can be found on there. You can follow and see what your student is doing in their classes, what kind of projects are upcoming, tests, exams, etc. are found in there as well. And then test scores as well are in there too, as throughout the years, like your PSAT scores, and eventually the SAT scores once your student is a junior. So for first day of school and schedule, we're really excited to have the students back in the building, like Dr. Eccles was saying. First bell is going to ring tomorrow at 7:25 in the morning, and I know that every one of the students I've talked to is not excited about having to be in the building that early, but I promise all the staff are going to have enough pep in their step to wake up every single one of them. And they'll end their day at 2:25. Just the most basic things to bring to school for tomorrow is basic school supplies, like a notebook and pen or pencil, so they can take notes in each of their classes to see what the teacher's expectations are in regards to supplies for school. Make sure that your child logs into Student View tonight before their first day, because they access all of our programming and everything through their Student View. And make sure we know that tonight, and then tomorrow if they have any issues, they can go to their house and then we can help them out with that piece. Schedule requests. So we're pretty stringent on schedule requests in the counseling department. Course requests were due on May 28th of last year. And so at this point, counselors cannot make any changes to the schedule unless there was a mistake in there or a student wants to drop it for an access within the first 12 days. And our access is basically a study hall. So we're here to help. We know that the last year and a half has been a wild roller coaster ride for everybody, especially our students who have been graciously through remote or in the building or however they were handling their education these last couple years. So if your student is struggling in a class, teachers are here to help. They have off periods that are available to help students out. We also have what's called a fishbowl. So each subject area, we have a room that's throughout the building that teachers are scheduled to be in those rooms every period of the day. So it's available for your student if they're struggling, let's say in math, they'll go to the math fishbowl and be able to get tutoring within math. And then me and Ms. Alessandrello, who is another counselor, run Power School, or Power Tutoring, peer tutoring, which is like basically a homework club. So not all our students are very comfortable working with their teachers and building that bond just yet. So we have a bunch of peers who have volunteered, who are juniors and seniors, who are here Tuesdays and Wednesdays after school, and they're here to tutor your students, whether that's in any academic class that they have a concern in, or if they just want a place to go and do their homework, that's a quiet space, they have that ability to do that as well. If there's an academic placement concern, and by that I mean, let's say your student was in regular English and you want them to be in honors English, the way we run it in our building is that conversation needs to take place with the teacher, the department chair of that department, then it comes to the counseling department for us to make that change. So social emotional concerns. We know it's been a rough ride this last year and a half, as I've said before. We're here to help. We have a bunch of resources in place. Staff are ready to go. We have a bunch of activities in place to kind of help with that stress and anxiety that we know is going to be exhibited in a lot of our children who are coming back into the building. So I want you guys to go ahead and meet the team, and I'll explain what a house system is. So since our school is so big and we have 3,000 students, we're split into 4 different houses here. And what that means is instead of having one person basically doing the run all for 3,000 students, you have a specific house as your student and parent that you call if you have any concerns. So for example, I'm in the Honor and Spirit House as a counselor. So we have a specific dean for each of the houses, and then we have a school social worker in each of the houses too available to help. And a school psychologist, a couple school counselors, and then we also have a guidance secretary and a dean secretary. So all of them are available in each of the houses, and it's based off of your alpha slice. So it's your last name, and that's where you find out which house you're a part of. This will all be online too, so you'll have all of our contact information available to you as well. Okay, so meeting the team. So here's our team, kind of the houses that I was breaking down before. It always helps to kind of have some visuals of who are the staff and resources that are helping out your students. So here's the breakdown for last names. Merit, if your last name's A through FE, your student will be in the Merit House. If your student is in the Victory House, it's going to be FF through LP. Honor House is LOQ through ROD. Spirit House, ROE through Z. We also have a college and career center where we have a mental health coordinator to kind of help out with that piece. We also have a college and career counselor this year that we've added additionally, which is really great. And then we have our department chair who's in that office as well. So we're adding on different types of resources and services for your students and for you guys as well. So here is the guidance website. It's up and live right now. So here's an example of what it looks like. Each age group, we have links that you can go ahead and click either through the home, freshman. So freshman would be your main link. You go ahead and click freshman, and under freshman, you're going to find links to four-year plans, how to get active within the school. You'll find links within that. School links, which is our college and career program that we have in place. And then you'll find AP testing information and commonly used forms that we have in place as well. So it's a great resource for you as parents to see what and where your student is at per their grade level. Counselors will also be meeting with each of their 9th grade students in small groups within the first 2 months of school. We first get our seniors started with the college season, then we jump in with our 9th graders and kind of get them used to the building. So another thing that I kind of help out with 3 of our other teachers is Fresh Connect. We really feel like it's important to make sure that that transition piece from middle school to the high school setting is with ease and isn't a scary thing. So with Fresh Connect, we have over 200 leaders who are sophomores, juniors, and seniors who have been vetted out as our top students to kind of help and lead and mentor incoming freshman class. So our goal with this club is to ensure that the freshman students are aware of everything that's provided within the building. So last week, if your students attended freshman orientation, that was run by Fresh Connect. Throughout the school year, we're going to have different types of activities. So on Thursday, September 9th, for example, it'll be the activity fair. The entire cafeteria is set up with all the activities. We have over 70 different clubs that students can join. They'll be led by their mentors, so the upperclassmen will have their group of students that they'll lead through the activity fair, and they'll be taken out of their class for 2 periods. So each of these events that we're running, they'll be taken out of class for 2 periods to kind of get to know other students and get to know some more of the older students that we have as well. So we'll be doing a homecoming week. We'll have a homecoming section for our freshman students with their leaders as well. So it's just a really good way to get our students partnered with our older students to build down the fear and to kind of get them connected to the building. Because the higher the connection, the higher the success rate we have with our students. Here's some pictures from last week's event. If your students attended it, we had it split up in 2 different groups for COVID. So here we had the PEP group out with all the students. It was great. They did tours through the building, a huge escape room. Kids had a really good time. So here's just some pictures from that event. All right, and that's my part. And then we're going to have Matt Fairman come out, who is our athletic director. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for being here tonight. Some tough acts to follow, but I'm looking forward to it. My name is Matt Fairman. I'm the athletic director. If anybody's interested in becoming involved with our athletic programs, you can email me, call my office. I'm here for you guys. What I'm finding out a lot in the past, this is my 3rd year of being the athletic director. I think this is my 8th year here at Metea and my 22nd year in the district. And really, since I took this leadership role, it really dawned on me how it takes a community to make this work, whether it's in the hallways here, in the classrooms, on the athletic fields, during activities, etc. It's a hard act to follow. Following Dr. Eccles, he covers a lot of the things I want to talk about, but he does such a much better job than I ever would. But we do need involvement. We have so much talent and ability in our community, and to have people get involved would mean the world to all of us, to see us really take that next step in everything that we do, whether it's 26 in the state, whether it's in our athletic programs, whatever it is. We really would like to help you or have you help encourage your child to get involved. The common question at the very end of the year when seniors graduate is, hey, what were your regrets? What kind of regrets did you have at the very end? What do you wish you would have done? The common theme is they wish they would have gotten involved, or I wish I'd have gotten involved sooner. So I get it for a lot of freshmen. It's that uneasiness of, oh, should I? I don't want to get turned down. I don't want to get rejected. Should I go out for a sport? I'm worried if I get cut. You got to go for it. Go for it. And I think when you get involved in, whether it's an athletic event, an activity, or whatever it is you want to get involved with, you find people who are passionate about the same things that you are. Those are your lifelong friends. Maybe the ones that stand up at the weddings or godparents to your children or whatever it would be. Those are the ones that you'll have forever. So the sooner they could get involved, the better. So encourage your child tonight to get involved in some manner, whether it's with us, with athletics, or in some other manner. It would be fantastic. Also, as parents, Dr. Eccles talked about it, becoming a boosters member, a PTSA, whatever it is, your involvement is huge to our success. So if you could do that, we'd greatly appreciate it. Again, it's not me. This is not my program. It's your program. It's our program. So together, we'll make everything be much better and get to where we really, really, really strive to be. So again, Matt Fairman, Athletic Director, contact me anytime. I'm going to run you through just a few things. I've gotten a lot of questions just in the past couple of weeks. Hey, I'm trying to sign up my son for tennis. Hey, I'm trying to sign up my daughter for the sport. How come we can't register? Just to clarify how the sports work, everything is seasonal. We have a fall season, a winter season, then we have a spring season. Within those seasons, the IHSA has certain sports that you can compete in during those seasons. And on the slide right here, you'll see the dates, the time frames, and in the next slide, you'll see kind of what's offered during those sports, or during those seasons, and I'll show those to you here in a second. But there is an eligibility. Playing in athletics, it's not a requirement. It's nothing, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to get involved in an activity, an athletic event, whatever, or athletic contest, or whatever it would be. So to do that, though, you need to be passing classes. That's a priority. Everybody should focus on school. School comes first, okay? You have to be a great student, all right? Great students, then you go into the athletic programs. That helps us. Your accountability, we can count on you being there. We don't have to worry about tracking you down and, hey, you got to be passing. Hey, you're on the fringe. You're almost failing another class. But as you can see up here, you need to be passing 5 classes each week once that competition season starts. There's an eligibility report that comes out every Thursday. The coaches get it, I get it, we share it with the coaches. If somebody isn't eligible, we notify them on a Thursday. They have that Friday to perhaps find a mistake. It could be a teacher error. Maybe they didn't turn in a project. We'll notify them on that Thursday night or Friday. They have to get that assignment in for them to be passing. The teacher has to grade. It's a little process, but otherwise they are ineligible that following week if they're not passing 5 classes. So that quickly, as you guys know, it can snowball effect on you. All of a sudden it's one class, and all of a sudden it's a second class. So my advice to any athletes out here, anybody in school, stay on top of it right away. Starting tomorrow, stay on top of it. It's easy to fall behind. After the eligibility, after the following point, after the eligibility report, is basically registration for a sport. A lot of people have reached out to me this week. Hey, we already registered. You did register for school, but you also have to register for the sport. We get that information through there. We have to check to make sure we have an updated physical. Physical is good for 13 months, but we have to have an updated physical for you to be able to even compete or even try out, okay? So there's that physical portion on file. You have to register, and then there is a $200 fee that comes along with it. Once everything's rolling and we have everything in the right spot, we can go ahead and continue through the season and get things done the way it needs to get done. With that, I will say this, that we have the best athletic staff in the area. People who are passionate about their job, people who are encouraging, people who, if I had my children here, I'd feel like they'd be in great hands. They teach great life lessons. Sometimes they have to tell an athlete, no. Sorry, you're not going to make the starting lineup. Hey, no, you didn't make the sport. Hey, great job. Here's some things to work on. They're very real. And for me, for my children personally, to have coaches like that, that's going to pave the way for their success down the road. It's huge. So, great coaches, great staff. Trust them. If your child becomes an athlete, that they're doing everything. There's no ill will. There's no hidden objectives by anybody to sabotage anybody or anything. They want to do what's best for the athlete, what's best for the program. The sports I was talking about are up here as well by season. You can take a picture of it. I think Mr. DeBrucker said, the slides will be shared as well, okay? But those are the seasonal sports. It's quite a few. There's 29 sports that I oversee, and most sports have at least 3 levels. It's a lot, but it's a great opportunity for people to get involved. There's always something here at Metea Valley for anybody, whether it's a club or activity, athletic event, whatever it is. But you can see the seasons up there. Our goal, one of my goals, is multi-sport athletes. I love it when we have a multi-sport athletes. Back when I was playing, it was kind of common. You know, you did at least 2 sports, if not 3. These days, everybody's starting to specialize in just that one sport and play it year-round. The beauty of a multi-sport athlete is you're using different muscles in different sports, so the injury prevention is a little bit better. I'm not guaranteeing you don't get hurt, but it's better. Your chance of getting hurt because you're using different muscles are important, and it keeps the brain, it helps your grades. When you're involved in something, your grades they're better. The discipline decreases. So just being involved is a great thing. Some of the sports up there are sports that there are cuts, and some of the sports are you sign up, you'll be a part of a program, part of a team, will make you better. Okay, but that list is up there, and you'll see more information once we get to that point. But listen, I just want to welcome you guys again. Thanks for being here tonight. Truly wish you guys the best this year. Reach out if you need anything at all. Again, we're in this together. So best of luck to you guys this year. I'm going to pass it off to the Dean's section, which is Mr. Schumacher.
Okay. All right, welcome everybody. I'm David Schumacher. I'm the Dean of the Honor House. This is my 3rd year as Dean. Prior to that, I was the 504 coordinator, home and hospital liaison here. And before that, I was a special education teacher here. So I've been very fortunate to be at Metea my entire teaching career. And another small thing about me is I'm also a 204 grad. And the reason I mention that is I have a lot of pride in this district. I have a lot of pride in this community. And I just want to say that you guys are in for a great experience. And we are excited to have you guys come. Being part of this district growing up is the reason why I wanted to come back. And I know your kids are going to have a great high school experience. Just a little bit about the deans. We have 4 deans here. As you can see, Dean Klapoff, he is in charge of the Merit House, so he has Alpha A through FE. We have Dean McElroy, who is in the Victory House, and she is FF through LOP. I am in the Honor House with LOQ through ROD, and we have Dean Walpole, who's at the end of the alphabet, ROE through Z. I also put the Dean Secretaries on there. They help our office run very smoothly. You will most likely be getting calls from them if there's any attendance concerns. We also have our school resource officer, Officer Kern. He works and collaborates with us on an as-needed basis and really helps keep our building safe. We also have 13 deed assistants, which is a little different than what you guys have in middle school. They help with supervision and they're really the eyes and ears of our building. So they just help make sure kids get to class on time, make sure they're where they're supposed to be, and radio for us if they need any assistance. For attendance, our expectations is that kids are on time and ready to learn every single day. Okay, we all know that when kids are on time, they're more prepared for class and they're going to more likely to be successful in that class. So we want kids not to be even a couple minutes late, on time, before the bell rings, in their seats, ready to go. If your child is going to be absent, somewhere in middle school, we just need to know. Okay, please call our attendance line, and please give a reason on why your child is there. If you just say your child isn't going to be in today, you will get a phone call back, because we just need to know whether they're sick, whether they have a doctor appointment. We just need to make sure that we are aware of where they are, just so they're safe, and that we can mark that in attendance. Okay? You can mark where a student is by either calling us, or you can you can also put that in Synergy. And again, the big thing is just keeping that reason. When we start getting concerns is when there's excessive absences. Okay, in the beginning, you might be getting calls from our dean's secretary, one of our dean's assistants, if there's a minor issue and your child was maybe not where they were supposed to be. But when it becomes an excessive issue, that's when they're getting pulled out of class, that's when they're coming to our office, that's when you're getting phone calls from us. It's not what we want to do, but we also need to make sure that they are where they are supposed to be and getting the instruction that they need. For attendance consequences, I'm not trying to be negative by any means, but I also want to be transparent with you guys, just what the consequences are. For tardies, if a student misses or is late to class 3 times, they get an after-school detention. Okay, and that's a 45-minute detention after school, and it doesn't start over after you serve that after-school detention. So it's not like you miss class 3 times, on that 4th time you get an after-school, and then it's another 3 before you get an after-school detention. It's the next time it's another after-school and so forth. Okay, and we don't want to do that, but we also want to make sure kids are in class on time. And if it's an unexcused absence, if it's 1 period, it's called a PM school, which is an hour and a half after school. If you have 2 periods that are missed, that's 2 PM schools, and anything after that, you get a Saturday school for 3 or more periods. Okay, and that'd be you're coming in on Saturday from 8 to 11, which again, we don't want to do, which is why it's a huge thing to make sure you call in if your child isn't going to be here. Okay, because if we call you because you forgot to call in, and we get your voicemail, until you call us back or let us know, it's an unexcused absence. Okay, and again, I'm just trying to be transparent with that, and we just need to make sure kids are where they're supposed to be. Our goals as a dean team, notice on there's nothing about we want to punish kids, okay, because that is never our goal. We want to promote positive relationships, whether that be getting involved right away, whether making sure that kids understand that everybody's new here starting tomorrow, and we want them to form those positive relationships with their peers. Okay? We want to be a support and mentor. Okay? We always tell our kids our door's always open. Okay? If there's anything we can do, we want to help your child. Okay? We also have referral services, so if a student is really struggling, we have our own house system with our counselors and our social workers. We also have 360 youth services that we can use, so there's a lot of options where if your child is struggling, we can help. Okay? We also want to have students have a great high school experience. I talked about myself coming from the district. I had a great high school experience, and that's what I wish for all of your children as well. And we want students to be prepared for the future and to teach them life skills. You know, I have a lot of students who say, well, why does it matter, Dean Schumacher, if I'm a couple minutes late? Why does it matter if I miss 1 class? Well, when you get a job and you go to your boss and say, well, why does it matter if I'm a couple minutes late? You're probably not going to have a job very long. And we want to teach them that. We also want to teach students how to resolve conflict in a positive way. Okay, and that's a struggle for a lot of our high school students. And that's why we want them to come to us if there's an issue. Okay, to give you an example, there might be a student who decided to take something into their own hands and say they got in a fight at school. Okay, I've had that happen, and I've had kids come in, and you know, I come in and I'm real disappointed with the student. I just say, why? How did they get that far? And sometimes the student would say, Dean Schumacher, this kid's been bugging me for weeks, and I told him to stop, and he wouldn't. And it just got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. And what I tell them is, if you would have came to me first, we could have worked things out. I could have given you strategies. We could have talked to that kid. So we always want, if a kid is struggling, come to an adult. Whether it's myself, a counselor, a teacher, come to somebody to help support before, you know, negative consequences occur. Okay, the big thing that I want everybody to get out of this is we are here to help. We want all of your children to have a great high school experience, and if there's anything we can do, please reach out to us. All right, thank you.
So I'm going to wrap a few things up before Dr. Eccles comes up to close the night, but I think the big purpose of you guys showing up tonight is to try to get an answer to every single question that you might have for your freshmen. I mean, we would be here for hours trying to explain every single thing that goes on in a very large high school. But something I want to make really clear, like Dr. Eccles said, 26 in the state of Illinois is a top 5% school. We are that because of the staff, the community, the students, the parents, and the resources that we have. And that's the goal of tonight, is for everyone to leave with the understanding that we have the resources here at Metea Valley and in District 204 to assist your student with whatever they need. So I'm going to emphasize a couple things. First, this is a website specifically for the class of 2025. Some of it was part of the open house if you were a student in 204 last spring, and we updated a lot of information. I was the athletic director here for 3 years, and now as an assistant principal, I oversee clubs and activities. So as Ms. Seppergon said, getting connected is number one, the most important thing. And that's what tomorrow is going to be about. Tomorrow for the freshmen, it's about walking into this building. If they got a tour at freshman orientation or they didn't, they know where their first period class is. They know where to go and how we're going to get them to the next step from there. But there are so many resources to help them out. But if your student is struggling in any fashion, it's probably because they're not connected to our building in some fashion. They're not connected to a group of friends. They're not connected to a club, a sport, of something to get involved. So I think Ms. Seppergon said 60 clubs, and then Dr. Eccles said 70. As the person that oversees it, I'm telling you we're close to 100. And I have 7 applications to start a new club in my inbox right now. And that's perfectly fine. I want to support every student that wants to start something new at Metea Valley, because when you do have 3,000 kids, you have a lot of students that have different interests, and it's phenomenal that we have enough staff to support that. So again, if you go to this Class of 2025 website, this video will be posted. All of the slides that we have are already there, a frequently asked questions. So getting connected. The last thing I just want to emphasize before Dr. Eccles comes up here is tomorrow is going to be perfectly fine. And we hope that you tell your son or daughter, especially if your son or daughter is this is your first high schooler as a parent. My daughter's in 8th grade. If we fast forward 365 days from now, I'll be laying next to my wife, not sleeping, because she's going to be a nervous wreck. Because her daughter is about to go to high school for day 1, and I'm going to understand that what my daughter is about to walk into is a very supportive environment. A great place that is going to help her out with whatever she needs. So I kind of understand what your emotions, what might be going through, and maybe some basic questions. But if they have transportation to the building, know what room number they're going to first period, and like Ms. Seppergon said, just have some basic stuff. There's no school supply list. You don't have to bring Kleenex. There's none of that. A notebook, something to write with. Even if they don't have their Chromebook, we have a system that they can get their Chromebook during lunch. Dr. Eccles and I will be making announcements all day long tomorrow. I have 5 different calendar reminders already set for tomorrow telling them. We will let them out for the buses 5 minutes early so they have time to get to their buses. We've all done this before. It's going to be a wonderful day. I cannot tell you how excited our staff is. They are beyond excited to get everybody in their room, making connections and building those relationships. So last thing I'll say before Dr. Eccles comes up, you're going to start hearing social emotional learning, habits of success. We are at the forefront of social emotional learning in the world of education. I truly believe that in District 204 because of a lot of our staff members. And habits of success are things that we are going to take instructional time to teach our students. In our habits of success lessons, we're going to spend the first 3 days, just 20 minutes, at the end of our second period class, and tomorrow is all about relationships. It's all about finding their identity, building relationships just in that second period class. And then, as Ms. Seppergon said, we're going to add those habits of success in our Fresh Connect curriculum as the year goes on. So again, if they know how to get to school and they have some type of transportation, either you're dropping them off or they're taking their bus, they know what their first period class is, and they have items ready to go for class, I highly doubt, and Dr. Eccles I think can reiterate this, they're not coming home with homework. They're coming home with conversations about who they met and their teachers, and really excited about that. You're also excited to maybe meet the teachers. On Thursday, September 2nd, I'm pretty confident of that date. That is our curriculum night, and that is going to be virtual. So what that'll be is actually our staff will create a video for every single subject, class that they teach, and you'll be able to click on that video to see that teacher contact information talking about that class in that virtual event on that Thursday. So not everyone will be coming to the building to run through the students' schedule that night. So I did want to make sure that we were clear on that will be a remote event on Thursday, September 2nd. But again, it'll be a wonderful day tomorrow. We hope everyone got a few questions answered. You can go to this website tonight to look up anything else, but if they know how to get here, they know what their first period class is, and they got a pencil, they'll be perfectly fine. They'll have a great day tomorrow. So please welcome Dr. Eccles for closing.
Thank you, Mr. DeBrucker. All right, well, in a few minutes, we're going to turn you guys loose and allow you to walk around the building and kind of see what you want to see and kind of get familiar with the surroundings here. But before we do that, When you start walking around, you're going to see some signs, and on those signs it's going to say Metea Life. Somebody say life. Okay, that wasn't as good as last time. We're going to try that again. Somebody say life. All right. That life was a Metea Life statement that was put together by students, parents, teachers, and administrators when this building was put together back in 2009. The L in life stands for live with integrity. We tell all of our kids integrity is something that you will take with you not only from high school, but into the world of work and into college and career. Integrity is what you are as a person, and we always tell kids what that means is doing the right thing, whether you think anyone is watching or not. And we all know in today's society, somebody's always watching. There's always a cell phone out, somebody's recording something. So the bottom line is, be a person of integrity, be a person who does the right thing academically, in the hallways, all around the building, in the community, and that will help you in the game of life. The other one is inspire passion for living. That's what the I is for. We tell our teachers we want to inspire the passion in our students to learn and continue to be lifelong learners, okay? We know that's so important. I was telling the students in our transfer meeting today, I said, I'm 56 years old, but I'm learning something new every single year. You just don't stop learning once you graduate from high school. You don't stop learning when you graduate from middle school and come to high school. Learning is a lifetime experience, and we want everybody to have a passion for that. The F in life is for foster positive relationships. We think that is so important. As Mr. DeBrucker said, one of the things we're going to be working on the first 3 days of school is establishing those positive relationships, not only from teacher and student, but student to student. It always helps if you have somebody your own age that sits near you in the science class, if you have a question that maybe the teacher didn't see your hand up. What we found is that kids sometimes learn better from other kids than they do from the teacher, because kids speak the same language, okay? And so we think that's so important here. Some of the friendships that these kids forge here at Metea Valley High School will last a lifetime, all right? The last letter in life is E, and that is expect equity and excellence for all. I'm going to say that again. Expect excellence and equity for all. We are the most diverse high school in District 204. We celebrate that. We believe that makes us stronger. When we learn from each other, that makes us better. And we have a saying here at Metea Valley, better together. All right? We really believe that. When parents, teachers, students work as one and collaborate, we're better together. So I'm looking forward to a great, great year. I'm excited that you came tonight. We're going to stick around just in case some of you want to walk up and ask a couple of questions, but feel free to roam the building and see where everything is at. And we're going to close on something that we'll be doing for the next 4 years. When you hear me say, and as always, I want a hearty go-go Mustangs out of you guys. So here we go. And people are watching this at home, so let's make this good. And as always, thank you very much. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
A great way to start the connections is also Mustang Mania on Friday night at 4 o'clock out at the stadium and in the gym. Mustang Mania by the Athletic Boosters.